We got some Monster Hunter World here, and I it's weird to say I'm a fan of this series because I'm not really. I've spent maybe 20 hours at most with one of the PSP ones. I'm kind of I've always been rooting for this series. I love the idea of it. It's very Soulsian in its spirit. It predates the Souls games, but it's one that's always, at least of late, and by of late I mean 10 years, been stuck on the PSP or been stuck on the 3DS, or the Wii got a port of Monster Hunter Tri, but it's garbage. Like, it doesn't control right. Well, we got one on the Wii U. It still isn't right. This isn't right. And they finally did it. I don't know why it took them this long to do it, but they finally gave you, and maybe this is one of the newer 3DS ones as well, but actual second analog support that isn't like it's from the 1920s or something. It's so bizarre how bad the controls were and how much better they are now. Delphox, you remember this is the match where the guy was whistling at the beginning, and yeah, I got to hear the whistling again when I put this video up, and good lord, it was just as bad as you remember. Stupid asshole whistling. Anyway, they finally fixed all that. They finally streamlined a lot of this nonsense of, oh, you have to have a mining pickaxe, and then your pickaxe can break. Like, that seems to just all be gone. Maybe it's been gone for a while, but I'm sorry, I'm not playing every Monster Hunter waiting for it to fix itself. I'm playing the beta for this and realizing, oh, they've finally done it. They've brought this game into 2012, really, where it should have been all along, and it looks beautiful. It plays really good and is a ton of fun to do. It's not as hard or hardcore as it has seemed in the past to me. You can kind of just get a group together and go nuts at it. I love that. I love that the worlds aren't sectioned off into little pieces and you're like, oh, he's going to 3, and then you go there and there's a loading screen for 3. It's finally a world, a Monster Hunter world, if you will. Eye roll. And that's so great. It just sucks that it took them so much longer than they really needed to take to get to this point, because this is a game, for all intents and purposes, this game could have come out on the PS3. There's nothing in this game that I played that was like so much bigger and grander. You know, we've had games like Witcher 3 at this point. We know how big and crazy things can get. Even Skyrim, which is 10 years old, it feels like. This is just such a smaller scale, but man, is it nice for them to catch up. And it's kind of goofy to give a developer or a publisher or whatever credit for catching up, but this is the perfect game to catch up with. And oh my god, it reminds me, didn't even think about this when I was playing it, I loved Dragon's Dogma. And Dragon's Dogma was basically single player Monster Hunter, but less about like finding quests. It had its open world and you would go around and do little quests with your party members, and I loved that. And they brought in kind of the no nonsense, let's make sense controls, let's let you mount a beast. It very much learned some lessons from that game, I feel like, at least in spirit. And I love that from it. Now that I brought up Dragon's Dogma, though, I would just rather Dragon's Dogma 2, but whatever. I think the future from this looks super bright. I think people had a ton of fun with it. It was easy to get into games. There were some kind of connectivity issues, but barring that, didn't experience really any lag. Ton of fun fighting these monsters. This is actually an optional monster that was not part of the target that you can fight. They're all just sitting around in the area. They're all giant. I tried out pretty much every single weapon. All a ton of fun. Everything seems faster and more streamlined. And I know there will be purists who don't like that. But I think grinding for 5 hours to build the Rathios armor or whatever is appealing to such a subset of people that if we just sped it up a little bit, they added in some nice tutorial little lady who's telling you, oh, this is a berry, or does this for whatever. They added in the ability to, it's like a slingshot or something, so everyone has a projectile to do a little bit of something with. They added in a lot of maneuverability, climbing through things, jumping in a way that feels so much faster, so much more like an action game and not like you're stuck in an animation for 20 hours. It still has it. It still has that. You know, you're locked in, right? And I like that. That's the charm of Monster Hunter. It's still there. You are locked into where you're facing. You started this combo, you're doing the combo, right? You don't get to dick around. It's nice that they stuck that, but it is faster. It is more forgiving, but still not too forgiving where you can, you know, just fool around too much. The final encounter in this is a little more difficult. I wouldn't say it's that difficult. And I'm not a great Monster Hunter person, but if I can do it, they did make it easy. But it could just be the beta. And I hope the final game isn't like, oh, you don't have infinite pickaxes, and oh, you can't just mine honey from this. They really need to tone that down. I don't need to worry about inventory space or having 3 pickaxes, 1 gold pickaxe in case I find the 1 ore thing I want to find. Like that minutia garbage seems to have been completely removed, and that's what was always preventing me from playing it. Yes, Will, I did see your shocked face. Don't worry. I did. So I'm super excited about Monster Hunter World because I played it for like 3 hours, and I was like, the same 2 missions. I played the same 2 missions over and over for basically 3 hours. And the next day I was sitting there thinking to myself, yeah, I could play more of that. I could play more of that. It was 2 missions. I already played 3 hours of, and that's a really good sign, especially that this is now on a system that actually has online multiplayer. What the fuck just flew in my face? That's great to see. We'll have people to play with on PS4, Xbox, or PC. It looks and runs fine, but man, on PC it's gonna look so phenomenal. I don't know. It depends. My friend Logan will be playing the game, and whatever he gets it on, I will get it on, and we'll play. Now, Delphox, if you get this game, I'd play it with you. Come on. We could hunt some monsters with a Z. I could change that S to a Z. It could be monsters with a Z. That could be us. This could be us. Beating the fucking shit out of this monster set. It is a ton of fun. It really is a ton of fun to fight these things in a way that it never seemed like it was before, because now you actually have the ability to use the right analog stick. I still don't know if I'd like it. Well, alright. Well, the beta is happening again next week, Delphox. So give it a shot, check it out, see if you like it. This was for PS Plus only. The next one's not for PS Plus only, so you'll be able to do it. I don't know, but aren't you PS Plus? It doesn't matter. Give it a shot. It's only 5 gigs. Come on. You can preload now. Get on with it. But I was very, very impressed with what I played of it. It's so nice to see a franchise that I've always wanted to get into have an entry that didn't feel like it was trying to punish me unnecessarily for no reason, obnoxiously, and being a meanie to my face. That's what was nice to see. And I think that's worth applauding and recommending and enjoying. And I think Capcom is going to have 2 years in a row a big hit in January for them. Last year, Resident Evil. Next year, it will be, almost said Dragon's Dogma, Monster Hunter World. I wish it was Dragon's Dogma. I wish. Look at them. That's another thing they added with you can kind of see the tracks and follow the beast, because it's not fun to not know where the thing is and have to go through here, and I have to look up a wiki guide. Anytime I have to look up a wiki, what the hell's going on or how to do something, it's kind of a knock against you. And you might say, but Ben, you love Dark Souls. I don't look at the wiki when I'm playing Dark Souls. I don't need to. Okay? Monster Hunter, I feel like I need a hand. I need an adult's hand to guide me. In the small of my back, just adult's hand, just right there, just a little guide, you know, just to know that they're there to help me. just a little touch. Look at the monster though. I can't decide, is he a rock? Or is his hide just really, is that poop? What is he flinging at me? It's very upsetting.